Ladies and gentlemen, wait, wrong sports team. We're gonna do something that has no business being done whatsoever. We're gonna break the norms of sports debates, smash down the barriers of sports conversation, educate young minds to think outside of the box, and potentially piss off a lot of NBA and NFL fans. But today, we're gonna cross over to the gridiron, the football field have you, and see which NFL players are identical and similar to our current NBA superstars. This is the best time of the year. The NBA preseason is underway and the NFL is a couple weeks into their season, so I concluded it'd be an interesting idea to compare which NFL stars and NBA stars are similar and just alike. Why am I doing this?
Why? Because that's why.
If you strictly watch the NBA and have no clue about the NFL, then this should help you get a good idea of who these NFL stars emulate on the basketball court. And if you do watch the NFL, I apologize in advance. But I think you'll enjoy this video as well. With that being said, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the first player comp. First up, quarterback Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry. You want to talk about two guys that can give the defense problems? I don't know what is in Mahomes and Steph's arm because they're making it look easy throwing 70-yard darts and draining threes from deep while the defense is pressuring them. You sure they ain't still Bucky's arm? Oh, you want no-look passes? Say less. Don't mind if I just cross you up real quick. Both of these guys are champions, and when I tell you they have revolutionized their respective position in their era, it is an understatement. Just unreal talent from these light-skinned brothers. Two future Hall of Famers that already put fear into the defense and are the best at their position right now. Next up, quarterback Tom Brady and LeBron James.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Brady and James win wherever they go. LA, New England, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Miami. Father time is coming for these guys, but it just seems like these guys are just a step ahead. And not only are they able to play in today's game, but they're dominating as well. Old heads that are keeping up with the young guys. Whether you like them or not, Brady and LeBron are still breaking records and making new records in their respective sports. So even though they may be in the twilight of their career, they're still two of the legendary figures in the NBA and in the NFL. A-Rod and KD are the two guys you don't want holding the ball with time ticking on the clock. Go ask Cowboys and Cavalier fans about these guys. Offensively, KD is arguably the best offensive talent and scorer ever with his skill set and frame. And A-Rod, if we're talking just QB talent, is regarded as the best quarterback talent to ever grace the gridiron. They may not have the most accolades, but their skills are regarded as upper echelon. Yeah, they're that nice. They can win in any situation, game-winning drives, game-winning shots, etc. Two assassins in their respective sport. For the next comp, we have QB Kyler Murray and Trae Young. They already look alike and both played college ball at Oklahoma University, so this was kind of an easy comp. But Trae and Kyler are both undersized, but they play bigger than their frame. Very annoying to play against because they're nearly untouchable and hard to stop, but also they're two guys that garner a lot of respect because they're young bulls and play at a high level despite being the same size as Kevin Hart. And their arms can beat you from deep. No pun intended. Next up, we got QB Josh Allen and Luka Doncic. Josh Allen and Luka both hopped into the scene after their rookie year and became MVP candidates in their third season, becoming top 10 caliber players in their respective sports. Josh Allen had a stellar third season where he threw for 37 TDs and had 10 interceptions. For my NBA fans, this is good. And Luka was close to averaging a triple-double this season and was also a first-team All-NBA player. For my NFL fans, this is also good. From the step-back threes to the long-range bombs, Luka Doncic and Josh Allen have their signature moves that make these guys so unique. Next, we got QB Matt Ryan and Chris Paul. This was very easy. Matt Ryan and CP3 have longevity in their sport and have had great Hall of Fame careers. Leaders in all-time passing yards, assists, TDs, etc. These two guys are similar to Brady and Bron, one of the greats in their era, and also made the NBA Finals and Super Bowl. But you know what really makes these guys so similar? They both blew leads in the championship game. I'm sorry, but CP3, you were up 2-0. I hate it had to be you. And Matt Ryan, you blew a 28-3 lead. Hold on to the pigskin, dude. They teach you that in Pee Wee. And for our last QB comp, I have Dak Prescott and Donovan Mitchell. Kind of surprising, I know. But these are two guys that many people don't talk about, but are one of the best players in the game right now. D-Mitch always performs when it matters most for the Utah Jazz, but talking heads on TV will say Rudy Gobert is the best player on the team. Come on now. And for a time being, many people thought Dak Prescott wasn't the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. It was running back Ezekiel Elliott. Come on now. Well, now, it's pretty much known that D-Mitch and Dak are the leaders of their squads and shouldn't be underrated anymore. Expect them to continue having stellar seasons in the future. Now that we're done with the quarterback comps, let's look at the running backs. We have running back Derrick Henry and Zion Williamson. When these guys are on the court or field, you ideally want to get out of the way. Y'all seen Friday? Well, yeah, Zion and Henry are Debo in the NFL and in the NBA. They'll bully their way to score, and even though it may not be as flashy, they'll still be productive and put up good stats with great efficiency. Fantasy monsters, if I do say so myself. Try not to take a charge or tackle high when you see these guys coming at you, or they'll put you in the ICU. For our other running back comparison, we got running back Christian McCaffrey and James Harden. Now, besides the fact that they both have some drip, offensively, Harden and CMC are offensive superstars that can be used in a multitude of ways. Christian McCaffrey can attack you in the run game and in the pass game, and is the best at his position doing so. Catching from the backfield or breaking tackles, CMC will get it done. And Harden can attack you from every area of the court, step back threes, and ISO if you need it, and can also play make for others and even play off ball. They are the Swiss Army knives on offense and can do what they want on offense with a high efficiency and high productivity. And they got hamstring issues. I'm sorry. I know.
Move this man!
Now we're at our wide receiver comparisons, and I have wide receiver Davante Adams and Damian Lillard. Dame and Davante Adams are consistent performers every single year, and you can rely on them being an All-Pro and All-Star every season. Now, they may not have the rings to show it, but they're one of the better talents in their era. It's not the insane athleticism that catches your eye, it's precision and skill in their game. DA's ability to create separation from the line of scrimmage with his route running, and Dame's ability to create separation from the defense to score the basketball. Two tough guys who can go get a touchdown or a bucket. Next comp, we got wide receiver Tyreek Hill and De'Aaron Fox. What makes them so similar?
I'm fast as boy. Still fast as boy.
Tyreek and De'Aaron Fox are the fastest player in the NBA and NFL, so they had to be the same. Defenses can't stay in front of them, and they make it look pretty easy with their speed. Known as the Cheetah and Swiper respectively, it makes sense why they're known as the quickest guys in the game. And for the last wide receiver comparison, we have wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins and Zach LaVine. Hopkins and LaVine are natural scorers. They find a way to get to the end zone or basket and do so with good efficiency. LaVine shot over 50% from the field last year on 27 points per game, and Hopkins rarely drops any passes. Two guys that make the most out of their opportunities with the football or basketball. You see? Now, they haven't always been in the best situation due to the decisions of their general managers or coaches for the most part of their career. Fuck Bill O'Brien. But they're still great quality talents, and they both also like to put their opponents in their highlights. At tight end, our player comp is Travis Kelce and Nikola Jokic. Now, Travis Kelce is not the most mobile tight end, but he still puts up the best numbers at his position and is the consensus best tight end in the NFL. Nikola Jokic is similar because he's not as mobile and he's still able to put up the best numbers at his position with good efficiency and even won the MVP award last year by doing so. Kelce and Jokic defy the traditional norms of being super athletic, fast athletes and still get the job done at a high level. Now, every great offense needs a great offensive line. Your offensive line is meant to protect your QB, help create room for your running back to gain yards running, and put you in the best situation to win. And like a front office in the NBA, your job is to put your franchise and roster in the best situation to win. The Cleveland Browns offensive line does a great job doing this in the NFL, and the Milwaukee Bucks front office has as well, winning the NBA championship last year. Congrats to you guys. And our other O-line is the New York Jets, the New Orleans Pelicans. They're just ass. Pure ass. The Jets suck, and the Pelicans GM isn't friends with their best player, so yeah. Alright, now it's time to check out the defensive side of the ball. The guys we need to get a stop. At defensive end, we have Aaron Donald and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Donald and Giannis are just unnatural forces of talent you only see once every few years. You can only double team and pray that you can stop these guys from dominating on the field or court. Both of these guys have won Defensive Player of the Year awards in their sport and are yearly All-Pro and All-Star players every season. Both Giannis and Donald will be in the Hall of Fame once they retire and they end their careers, but until then, they are the focal point of every offensive game plan trying to figure out how to stop them. Because if you don't, you might as well chalk it up and go home. On the other side, at defensive end, we got JJ Watt and Anthony Davis. Two great defensive guys that can disrupt your offense, and both of these guys came into the league dominant and have only gotten better as they've gone into their careers. But AD and JJ stay getting injured. Like, come on, bro. It seems like somebody's playing Operation with their body. If they were healthy all the time, it'd be no problem, but it seems like in their career, it's always been something that's made them miss playing time. But nonetheless, these guys are great players, and the Hall of Fame is in their future for sure. At outside linebacker, we got TJ Watt and Kawhi Leonard. These guys are silent killers, guys that you rarely see talk outside of the game, but when it's time to suit up, Kawhi and TJ, their game is quote unquote the loudest. They wreak havoc on the field and the court, and both are always in talks for Defensive Player of the Year because of their stout defense. Not to mention, they both played for legendary franchises in the Pittsburgh Steelers and San Antonio Spurs, though they both kind of suck ass now. Sorry fam, sorry. TJ and Kawhi will remain as consistent productive players in the NFL that get the job done. At middle linebacker, our player comp is Bobby Wagner and Draymond Green. For my non-NFL watchers, the middle linebacker is known as a QB on defense, usually lined up a few yards back facing the actual quarterback, and they have to have a high level of IQ to make the right play and adjustments for the defense. Now the same can be said for the NBA. You have to have that one play that leads your defense. And I think of Draymond Green. Defensively, Draymond is still an issue for NBA bigs and forwards to match up against, and he's one of the smartest players in the game. The same could be said about Bobby Wagner for the Seattle Seahawks, who has won a championship like Draymond and is also the captain of the defense for his team. So you can see how the comparison lies. Two guys that have a high level of IQ, best at their position in regards to defense, and also have won championships as well. At cornerback, we have Jalen Ramsey and Joel Embiid. Okay. Just listen. Now, Jalen Ramsey and Joel Embiid are probably the two guys in the NBA and NFL who can talk a big game, but also back it up when it's time to play. As much as it looks weird in comparison, whenever they make a big play, best believe the other team is going to hear about it through both of these guys' celebrations. Jalen and Joel have not won any championship hardware, but they're most certainly a top 10 talent in the NFL and NBA and keep the fans entertained every single time they lace up their cleats or sneaks. At strong safety, I have Tyrann Mathieu and Russell Westbrook. Westbrook and Mathieu are two guys that are always on go. Full of energy when it's time to play, they're clearly going after their opponent's heads when it's time to ball. But what makes them so similar is that they're hybrid players in their own position. Westbrook is not the prototypical point guard, but will lay it on the line to lead his team to win, even if it means averaging a triple-double for an entire season. And Tyrann Mathieu can go from playing free safety to strong safety to cornerback and even linebacker at times if his team needs him in any of those positions. It just goes to show that Westbrook and Mathieu in any situation will find a way to win games for their teams. And for our last player comp, we have strong safety Jamal Adams and Jimmy Butler. Both of these guys are from Texas and have been All-Pro and All-Star selections over the past 3 years. Though they may not be the most exciting players and play like the traditional way you're used to, both of these guys are versatile. Jamal Adams can be played at numerous positions on the football field, and Jimmy Butler can be utilized as a playmaker, scoring option, and a main defender for the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and Jamal Adams are versatile pieces that bring a lot to their respective teams. That concludes my NBA and NFL comparisons. I know some of y'all watching this have a lot to say about these comps, so let me know in the comment section of which ones you agree with and which ones you disagree with. Depending on how this video goes, there may be a part 2, so stay tuned. Of course, leave a like and subscribe. This took a lot of work and research to do, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Until next time, stay on beat.